welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and we're here today with another full review episode. Okay, collect yourself. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. Come on in, get seated, have a good time, like we always do. You know how we do. All my returning viewers, you know how we do. So, full review is a part 2 of a 3-part series that Mr. Randy does for his whiskey, wine, spirits, libations of sorts review. So, part 1, we get the bottle home. Most important part of all, right? You got to treat it better than you treat a baby. Get it home, crack it open, pour it in a glass, share my first impressions with you because I love you. Part 2, we're going to get down here about halfway-ish. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less. It is what it is. If it's good, you can't blame me, can you? Okay, so part 2. We're going to give this enough space and time in the bottle to open up for better, for worse. It is what it is. I'm going to go on the internet, most dangerous place of all. I'm going to try and find up as much information as I possibly can. I do apologize. Sometimes I come back empty-handed. All I'm able to share with you is what I have in my hand. Okay, so part 3, all the way down here, is called the final pour. Final pour, thusly named the final pour, last pour. We're going to cab it and we're going to compare it to the first pour and everything in between. So today we're talking about Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. If you watched the previous Off the Rip video, you might notice something. And if you haven't, I'm going to go ahead and point it out. So, it did come in a box. Like I said, I went to buy a new glass because this guy here, Old Faithful, decided to take an early vacation and didn't tell anybody. I hope you enjoyed yourself, little guy. I hope you enjoyed yourself. So it did come in a box, which I did not showcase. There's just some award stuff, and here you go. I'll just let you pause that for a second if you care to see any of that. This bourbon is 7 years old, and it does come in at 100 proof, and I do appreciate you for your service. Now, back to the show. We're going to go ahead and crack this open while there was next to nothing. That cork kind of scares me. As long as we keep the bottle upright, and we keep Mr. Randy upright, I think we'll be okay. And it's a very weak cork in there. So there you are for that. There you are for that. 100 proof, because it is a bottled and bond Kentucky Straight Whiskey. There you go. I'll just give you that for just a moment. And we shall proceed. So this is a 7-year, 100 proof bottled and bond. Everything that is of under U.S. government supervision. Like, we need more of that. Anywho, staying out of the political realm, it gives me a couple of confusing dates about when I think this line of Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond started in 2019, but it also says 1939 for some reason. I get conflicting information, I guess, whatever. So we have a Bardstown, Kentucky. Bardstown, Kentucky. Not a whole lot of information I could really feel comfortable pulling off the internet when it comes to this. Majority of what I've able to observe and obtain was basically opinions from others, individuals. And I don't like to bring that to my table. I mean, I like to hear your opinions, but when I'm giving my official review, I do not wish to propagate opinions. I don't wish to. So the mash bill on this is 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% barley. Bourbon Junkie said they had this years ago, hated it, and they were hesitant to try it again, but they did, and gladly they did because they actually enjoyed it. I think that video was about a year ago. So now we're a year from that. Let's go ahead and, did I pour enough in there? That looks like some very beautiful creek water. You know about Mr. Randy's creek water. So let's break out Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale. And off camera, we're going to try and nail this down. It's kind of difficult. I'd say probably an Auburn Tawny. I think it's a little darker than that. It might just slip into that deep tawny mahogany. Anywho, I'm not there to look at it. Isn't that right, Mickey? We're not here to look at it. So on the nose, I do believe the nose has mellowed out just a tad bit more from off the rip. You're getting some deep oak, some honey vanilla spiciness, like a mild pencil eraser. It is pencil eraser. It's relatively mild on the pencil eraser. Delicious pencil eraser. It's got that, I don't want to say typical bourbon nose, because that's not typical. There's a few, this kind of does have a nose that's very similar to a few other bourbons. I don't know if I could nail this down as a Heaven Hill off the nose. I could tell you that it's definitely a nice bourbon. It's about as much as I can say on the nose. So let's get it on the palate. Oh yeah, that's a good bourbon. That is a good bottled in bond bourbon. It does not hit like 100. So Mr. Randy paid just over $50. I can't remember, it was like 50 and change after taxes out the door. So it wasn't quite 51. So about $50. Now this was the gift set with the glass, that thing. It's a thinner glass. It's an official Glencairn. This, I don't think it claims to be an official. I don't see markings on it. It's a much thicker glass. I don't know. That is a much thinner. This is thicker. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable with it in my ogre-sized hands. Oh, so on the palate is definitely a nice bourbon. Second that. On the tail end of the palate is where the spice and it's like that sweet oakiness comes out. It sort of gives you a little different beginning, and the end sort of changes a little bit. It's going to be an interesting finish for sure. So let's go ahead and get that finish, shall we? Ooh. Whole tongue, tip to back, lit up right now like a Christmas tree. Ooh. So now the lips are starting to tingle a little bit. Tongue is turning down. It's sort of like crawling its way through the back. The heat on the back is starting to kick up. It's a 2 going into a 3. Still got some flavor characters lingering about. I'm continually to work this as we go, salivating it. So the cheeks are definitely getting hit up right now. Yeah, the cheeks are definitely... Tongue is turned down quite a bit. Now it's like crawling backwards across the cheeks. Okay, so it's starting to wind down. So let's put a score on this. I have been very conflicted about where I'm going to land this score. I'm very conflicted about it. But I don't think anyone's going to fault me if I go ahead and just slot this right in a solid 4 out of 5. If you've had this, you'd understand. Have you had the newer one lately? Or have you had like an older one from years ago? And if you have had both, one from then and one from now, let me know what the difference is. Do you find that actually it's better now than it was before? You know, sometimes these people, they change the formula. They tweak it a little bit. And don't say anything. I'm looking at you, early times. Anywho, so my fair price on this, I'm going to say I definitely would rather have paid less than $50 for this bottle, but I'm not so butthurt over losing a little over $50. I don't feel like I've lost it. This is an experience, and I would definitely say it's worth that much for this experience. And they gave me a free bottle. The glass The glass was like $50-something. The bottle was free. Yeah. Would I buy this again? Maybe. Maybe. I find that some of the bottles of these that are by themselves and not in a gift set cost more than a gift set. The gift set was like $40-something plus tax, whatnot, out the door, $50-ish, and you get the free bottle with the glass. Anywho, there it is. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. Is it a good one? I think it is. Let me know.